I'm Deborah Lamata, and this is Women Entrepreneur Spotlight. I started this podcast because I believe that every woman entrepreneur has a story to tell, and by sharing that story, she could be helping the next woman entrepreneur looking for some guidance. So tune in, get comfortable, and enjoy the series. Hi, and welcome to Women Entrepreneur Spotlight. I want to welcome my guest today is Tina Hudson-Beamer of Tina's Timeless Threads in Dover, Delaware. Hi, Tina. Thank you so much for being here today.
Hi, Deborah. Thank you for having me.
You are welcome. So I do ask two questions to get us warmed up. And the first one is, tell us something interesting about yourself most people don't know.
Okay, so I won Most Poised and Elegant in a modeling competition in Stamford, Connecticut.
Oh my gosh, Tina, are you kidding?
I did, yes.
Oh, well, that is exactly where I'm from.
Oh, seriously? Yeah. It was Stamford, Connecticut. It was the coolest competition. It was talent and then modeling. Yeah, many years ago.
Oh my gosh. Now, are you originally from Delaware?
Born and raised.
And so how did you end up up in Connecticut for that?
Okay, so my younger sister was in every kind of pageant you could think of. We traveled a lot with this child, going to different pageants. And that one had a modeling portion. So I was like, you know what, why not?
Wow.
We were going there. Yeah.
What advice would you give your 16-year-old self?
Okay, so I know this sounds really, really silly, but when I was younger, I loved, this part, it doesn't sound silly. I loved debating and I always loved fashion. And I think my career choice was chosen based off of not knowing it, but how I perceived lawyers were always very well dressed, always fashionable and well put together. So when I decided to go for my college years, I majored in pre-law. So constitutional law, law, exactly, right? But I've always been in fashion and modeling. So I think I would have told my young self, you have both of them as your passion, but your real passion is always fashion. So hone in on that and focus in on that. And I probably would have been in a different place.
Wow. Oh my gosh. Oh, I love it. Oh my. Like I said, I'm finding out everything that I do about my guests through these two questions always amaze me.
But yeah, and when I think about it, really, I'm thinking, okay, you're young, you're 16, you don't know any better. Like you go to school, you don't know what to major in. Some people are clear cut and they have that, they're set and they know it. Not everyone is like that. I was one of those people. And like I said, I had those two passions, but my 16, 17, 18-year-old self didn't put it together that fashion is what really made all of that kind of important to you.
Oh my gosh. Now,
right?
did you go into law?
No, I never did. So I have a degree in political science. Okay. And I've done really absolutely nothing with it. So I graduated from college. All through college, I worked at Barbizon. I worked at their front desk. I've taught there, modeled for them. And then I got into retail management.
Wow.
And I loved it. And I kind of stayed there.
Oh, wow. Oh, my God. That is fantastic. Okay. So Tina's Timeless Threads, and I do love the name. How did you come up with the name?
Thank you. And actually, no, it didn't really take me a long time to come up with the name. So we are a family of T's. Like my sisters were all T's. No, seriously, married into a family with a whole bunch of T's. So I don't personally have children myself, just through marriage. So Tina's Timeless Threads is my baby. Aww. So she had to be a T. And plus, alliteration it's easy to remember, and it's easy flowing off the tongue.
Absolutely, absolutely. The first time I heard the name, I haven't forgotten it, and it does. Tina's Timeless Threads. I love it. Absolutely. So, So you've always been in the fashion, but how did you narrow it down to where you are now doing the curating for vintage clothing?
Okay, so yeah, always had a style for fashion. When I was younger, I was always different when it came to clothes. I never wanted to look like anyone else. I always looked different. 60s and 70s have always been a go-to for me. So when I go anywhere, the first thing I do is look up vintage stores, not thrift, not, vintage stores. And so you go around, you travel, and you see all these different cool places. And then I got to thinking, you know what? We don't have that here. That's why I'm always going outside the state to find it. It's something that we needed. I know a lot of people who love vintage here locally, but they really have nowhere to go other than like your thrift stores, which you can go there all day, look, and come out with nothing.
Right.
So when I decided that I was going to stop working retail full time and open my own store, it had to be vintage. It's like I said, it's my style. It's what I love. Now, I had to do a lot of learning opening a vintage store because loving to wear it and actually selling it are two different things.
Oh, I bet. Oh my gosh.
It is.
Absolutely.
It is. But definitely I had to do vintage. The vintage inspired aspect actually came through from a visit to a vintage store in Vermont.
Oh, wow.
They literally had true vintage and then vintage inspired pieces. So I was like, you know what, that's actually a great idea because I wear both.
Right.
And adding that gives more inclusivity to vintage because the sizing can be a little bit difficult to find. Now, you can find sizes in all sizes with vintage, but you tend to find a lot of smaller sizes and also just like in the variety of styles. So
there is a difference between vintage, retro, and antique. Can you just give us a little definition of each?
Okay, so vintage is anything that's 20 years or older. That's what most people consider to be vintage. So anything that's 2002.
Right, so 1999 and before.
October, is considered really true vintage.
Wow.
Yeah, isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
So I know people that are like 80s, 90s, and 2000s, like, what? I'm not vintage. But yeah, you are.
No.
You are. You're vintage.
I'm antique.
No, you're not. Yeah, okay. Retro is kind of like people think 80s, 90s retro, but it's also more, I think it falls within the vintage inspired aspect of it.
Right.
And the antique is 100 years or older. So anything that's past 20s is considered antique.
Okay. Great. And you're not a consignment shop. That I know. I have been to your shop and I love it. How do you obtain your beautiful collection? People come to you? Do you find them?
Okay. So when I first opened, I opened the store. Like if you had seen it when I first opened, it was very like sparse. It looked like a real beautiful, very open and empty boutique. It was very pretty, but it was very open. I did a lot of thrifting and in personal collection opening the store. Okay. Once I opened, people know that I'm here and you have a brick and mortar. I am constantly getting calls, people walking in, saying that they have their grandmothers and their mother's stuff. And would I be interested? Wow. So I do, depending on where I am in inventory levels, I purchase. If it's a big collection, I purchase. If it's smaller pieces, I'll do more store credit.
Okay.
I tend to I'll take some vintage inspired pieces, but I tend to strictly like pieces that are anywhere from the 20s to like really the 70s. Wow. I'll take 80s and 90s, but I would say I'm primarily 20s to the 70s.
20s to 70s.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right.
But a lot of it's personal collection, and I do go to estate sales every so often.
Oh, awesome. Now, do people just come in the shop or do they have to make an appointment to come in?
I prefer for them to make an appointment. If they walk in with it, and because it's just me, I have a lot of hats that I'm wearing throughout the day. So it's easier to make appointments. And you get so many calls and so many hauls. Oh, you have to budget that too, because you just can't buy it all every time somebody's ready to sell it.
What was the turning point that you decided you wanted to open up your own shop?
It's always something I really, truly wanted to do. I watched my dad own his own business, raise his family. We were not rich, not even close to it, but we were able to travel. We were able to, do activities, do events, and do pretty much anything we wanted. And my mother was really a more stay-at-home kind of mom. Yeah. So watching him do that, seeing the rewards that he got from that. When I was 2000, and I would say maybe 15 is when I really started thinking about, okay, you know what? I think I'm ready. Don and I were, I have been dating for a couple of years. We got married 2018. I was like, okay, you know what? So now I have a second source of income that could help me, be able to make my dream come true. So, So 2018, I applied for a business license. I started doing research about starting and opening your own business. Found a whole bunch of different great resources to help me with that. And then I was like, you know what? I'm going to do it. We went out, started looking for different buildings. I got this location for an amazing price for a 3-month pop-up shop. And here I am.
There you are. That is awesome. So you chose the downtown Dover area. Besides the pricing, was there another reason why you wanted that area?
Just, it's a beautiful area. And it is a shame. Like, if you look at the history of this area and you look at the old pictures and how beautiful it was, how full it was with storefronts and stores, like we need to get back to that. And I feel like the more businesses that we bring down here, the more people that come here, we'll be able to get that back. But it's a very tough struggle, I will tell you that.
I believe you. And just a little bit more on that, because I've been down there. I came into your shop. I was over at Forney's too. I haven't been down to Suds and Company yet. But parking, do you have many people say it's hard to find a parking spot?
Now, do you see? But I will tell you this, though. People will say that. People say that it's hard to find parking. But yes, it is, and no, it isn't. Because if people go to like a major city, and I know we're not a major city, they're willing to park anywhere and walk to where they need to go. The city definitely could fix some things when it comes to parking. There are a lot of parking spaces that are geared towards, I think, employees of the city, right, and stuff like that. Maybe make them walk a little bit further and keep the closer places to this area more for your local businesses.
Exactly. Yeah. And the reason why I asked that question, and I mean, I did find a place. I actually, the day that I came to visit your shop, I shop early. I parked right out in front, but I had come down again. I've been through there several times, and I know right on the main street there, Loockerman, West Loockerman, they're pretty full. I know there's two parking lots off of like the side of the building. And one of the reasons why I want to interview, you and some of the other retailers down there too, is like, if to get that traffic, just make it a little bit more accessible for the parking, or, just the overflow. I know you said earlier, you don't have any like competition for vintage clothing.
Well, yes and no, I do. So there is Jen and Lewis Vintage Underground. She opened like in 2018. So she was really, I think, the only first true vintage store that I was aware of. But I would say within the last month or so, it's called Space Boy Clothing in Wilmington. Actually sells vintage clothing. Now, when I was doing research, they popped up, but a lot of people would say that they just sold T-shirts because they're a T-shirt printing company also. Right? So why not combine it all? But they do actually sell some vintage. I would say as far as a vintage and vintage inspired aspect, I would say that I'm the only one that's like that. Vintage inspired when it comes to the clothing. Right. I do know that Jen does sell newer novelty gift stuff as well, like local stuff. So there are some competition and a lot of your antique malls. So I have a small booth and Newark at Aunt Margaret's, where I pretty much just sell vintage clothing. And there are other sellers who sell vintage clothing there as well. So a lot of your antique malls are jumping on that bandwagon. It's a big, huge industry. So people are taking advantage of it. Sure. Well, I'm glad that you're here in Dover. Thank you. And you're right. Why don't you let everybody know where you're located, how to get in contact with you, information if they do have vintage clothing they want to talk to you about. Okay, yes. So I'm located at 111 West Loockerman Street. And if you need to get in touch with me, you can call me at 302-399-3224. Or you can reach me on my website at tinastimelessthreads.com. That's right. And my email is tina@tinastimelessthreads.com. And social media on all of them, TikTok, Instagram, and Facebook, I'm at Timeless Tinas. Okay. Oh, great. So what has been your favorite piece of clothing that you have brought into the store, or do you have one? Oh, well, it's hard. When you ask me that question, I was like, I can think of a lot of things. But there is one piece that's really, really interesting. It's a 1940s Claire McCardell rayon faye. Gorgeous. I mean, you can wear this thing as a gown. You can wear it, I think, put a denim jacket with it and make it a casual outfit. Wow. Everything about it is really beautiful. Wow. She was a designer who helped make the Americans more popular in fashion during World War II.
Oh, wow.
So she started doing more like sport, like casual wear stuff. But this dress by her is absolutely gorgeous and amazing.
Wow.
Like a beautiful piece. Yeah.
You have to stop by Tina's store. Now, as I had said earlier, I am a wedding officiant. Do you have anybody that comes in looking for vintage wedding attire?
You know what? I have had people who have purchased stuff for wedding attire, but they really didn't go the true wedding dress route. But I have several. I literally have dresses in here from the 30s for wedding all the way up to like the 90s.
Wow.
Yeah.
There was so much to look at. I could have spent a couple hours in the store. So
yes.
I don't remember seeing the wedding dresses, but I will have to talk to you more about that because I do like clothing. How about the most unusual piece?
Okay, so it's not really clothing, but they're these Victorian era hair ornaments made out of human hair.
No.
Yeah. They do. They had some interesting quirks back then. Some of the stuff that you come across with the Victorian era, but they're literally beautiful, beautiful pieces. I can only imagine the time it took to make these things.
Oh my God.
But literally made out of human hair. Yeah. On their vanity, they have a little tray, and I have a set actually that they use. And one of them had a hole in it. And so they would take the hair from like their brush and combs and they would stick it in there. So when they wore like the bouffants, they used the hair for that, but they would use it to put in lockets to their husband when they went away to war. This one customer came in and said she has a shadow box about this big made into a whole scene out of human hair.
That's like for Ripley's Believe It or Not.
Exactly. Yeah. But when I got that from the lady, she said, do you know what this is? I had no idea. And I looked under a micro. It's amazing. It literally is made out of hair.
Oh my gosh.
Human hair.
Yeah. Next time I'm in, you have to point that out to me. I know you do photo shoots. I know you just had one. What made you want to do photo shoots? Who's your photographer? How did it all come about? Your makeup artist, and where do you find your models?
Okay. So, going like when we first started and opened the store, it was just my husband and I. We literally the store was set up totally different. So this whole front section was a wall. It was a wall, and we used that whole room. My husband and I put up a backdrop, and we would take pictures of. It was my sisters, my nieces, and that was it. Come in, put them in different outfits, and we would take the photo shoots. When I started growing and getting a bigger clientele, all of my models are customers. Every single model that models for me, I've met as a customer coming in to Tina's Timeless Threads. My photographer, the ladies who help me with marketing, same thing. The videographer who does like some really, really fun, cool videos for us. I met them all. Well, I met her through Carla, who helps me with marketing.
Oh, wow.
But all my models literally are customers who still shop here and come here. We do the photo shoots to help with good and professional content for social media, for my websites, because I sell on many different platforms. So getting the pictures to make the clothes look interesting so people can see what it looks like when people are in it and how they move. So that's the reason why for the photo shoots. Plus, I love doing stuff like that. And the models, the girls and guys that I use for this, it's content for their social media pages. They get to have fun. I feed them. We listen to music. And they get professional hair, which is my niece. She's a makeup artist.
Wow.
So she helps with makeup. And then there's a young lady named Elise who also helps with the makeup.
Wow. And I've seen the pictures on your website. They are all around gorgeous. The models, the clothing, the backdrops, the vintage cars, just it all. You tie it all. Oh my gosh. Absolutely. Well, speaking of more fun, you also have an online survey for a vintage fair. Are you still working on that?
I am. I'm still working on it. So originally we talked about this, I would say about maybe 5 months ago. And I originally wanted to do it this year in September, the weekend of Firefly. but
Oh,
it's a lot of work. And I was like, okay, we were like, after sitting having a couple of meetings with a couple of different people who have been helping me with it, we were like, okay, we need to push this back further. So we're shooting now for the middle of next year, or waiting till September and doing it in September.
okay.
What we've worked on so far is we have a budget that's not 100% filled out. But like I've looked around for pricing for like porta potties, for bands, and different things we think we might need, and to have a little bit of pricing for that. We have a logo. We're still somewhat working on it, but we have somewhat of a logo. Yeah, but it's the vintage, the Mid-Atlantic Vintage Fair and Classic Car Show is what it is. Yeah, so we just got to work on it a little bit more. And I think what was interesting this year is that for Firefly, I got quite a bit of Firefly customers who were looking for something to do.
Nice.
Because their particular bands weren't going on at that time.
Right.
The vintage fair would obviously be from 10 to like 5.
Okay.
So it would be during the day where a lot of those Firefly people were out and about. So it kind of gave me a look that, you know what? Yeah, people that go to Firefly are looking for other things to do.
Sure.
The location that we're looking at, we sat down, spoke to that location, and they really seem on board about it. They really want us to do it. We just need to come up with our proposal. Would be awesome for getting people to come there.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, that'll be great. Oh, well, you will have to keep me updated and through the year, and we can work on that on my radio show. So definitely keep in touch.
Oh, that's great.
We'll keep in touch with that one. So I was doing a little background research, and let's see, where do I have it? Main Street America and the Hartford, the Heartbeat of Main Street Grant Program, which you received in the 2019.
I did.
And that's when you opened up your store.
Well, yes. I opened up in 2019. Okay.
So did you get the grant after you opened up, or did this help you open up?
No, I got this grant when we shut down for 3 months for COVID. So when COVID hit, there were grants galore. And I'm telling you, I applied for every single grant that I came across. And honest to goodness, I was in this store complaining about how I applied for all these grants and I've never, ever win any of them. I would say 2-3 weeks later, I get this email and I open the email, and I'm like, does that really say that I won that? Yeah. So they picked 67 businesses out of the state, out of the U.S., and I was the only one in Delaware that was awarded a grant.
I saw that you were the only one awarded. That is awesome. So did you, and I'll tie this into the other question I was going to ask, is with a business plan, did you have a business plan prior to opening up, and did you submit it when you were applying for the grant?
Okay. Yes, I did have a business plan when I opened. I have not really done anything with it. It's helped me apply for other grants. This particular grant, I really didn't need the business plan for that. This one was more, it was, to be honest, it's probably one of the easiest grants I ever filled out. Like, it was really, really easy. I think they were looking more for a business that is kind of like at a standpoint. COVID has hit, and what am I going to do to make my business grow and survive with COVID going on? My focus was obviously technology. I was using like Square basic plan, which was free.
Okay.
I was using my iPad as my POS system. Wow. So with this grant, I was able to upgrade to the new Square system, which helped a lot with being able to keep my inventory correct and get that all in the system. I asked for an updated computer POS system. Why that was important is because I obviously had to transition to online when COVID hit. Right. I mean, we were closed for 3 months, and I didn't start off online. But when that happened, I was like, okay, what am I going to do? Right. So we remodeled the store and I got online. That grant helped me helped me hire someone to help me build a website, because I had no idea how to do that. So I was able to do that, and to help with marketing, to get me on social media more, be consistent with social media. So it was a huge help. It came in at the right time. And it definitely did help me pivot my business to the next level.
Oh, wow. So, yeah, because if you started in 2019 and then COVID hit, and with the grant, so then were you closed just like you said for 3 months? Were you closed longer than that, or just the 3 and then?
I opened back up. Literally, the state opened back up on my 1-year anniversary, June 1st of 2020, and I was able to open back up that day.
And how was foot traffic during that time?
During starting off, I got the support of people because I was opening. I did survive the craziness of COVID. So I did start off with really, really good foot traffic. I can say as that year went by, foot traffic was really good. Now I can say this year foot traffic has been definitely a lot slower.
Really?
Yeah, isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
Like 2020 my sales were great in 2020, and then this year has been like a bigger lull as far as foot traffic.
Yeah. I mean, unfortunately, with the way things are in the economy right now, and who knows what else is driving traffic the other way and then not into the
Online.
stores. Yeah, well, that is too.
It is.
Yeah. And so you have a presence online. I know you have your website.
Yeah, so I have my own personal website and I sell. So when COVID hit, and I opened my own website, I also did Facebook Marketplace. So I literally sold bulk lots of product on Facebook Marketplace because people who sell vintage had nowhere to go during those 3 months because everything was shut down.
Right.
I had tons and tons of inventory at that point that was just hanging around, like eras that I don't really focus on, like 80s and 90s. So I literally would do like 10 bags for like, I don't know, a certain amount of money, post it on Facebook Marketplace. And I sold quite a bit like that. Plus, reaching out to other vintage sellers. I learned a lot of things like damaged vintage product. There is a huge market for that.
Really?
Oh gosh, yes. Facebook has tons of groups that focus on damaged vintage product.
That's crazy.
And I sold so many 1940s and 1950s shirts and lots to people during COVID. Huge, huge help. So I sell on platforms like that. And then I also sell on, I found this website during COVID called Shop Thrilling. They literally sent someone here to pick up 250 pieces of my items. I was like, oh my gosh, I'm giving all my stuff. I don't know anything about these people, this company, but I did it. It took her 2 weeks. She literally did measurements. She did descriptions and took pictures and uploaded those 250 pieces to their website. That's how I really, really, really got an online presence of selling.
You mentioned marketing. You have somebody that helps you with marketing. And what strategies do you use and what works best for you?
Okay. Well, still word of mouth to me is great.
Absolutely. Right.
And I think it does, work.
It's free.
And it's free. Exactly. But definitely social media. And I also have an email list and newsletters that I send out to help with marketing, whether it's to promote an event, because I do host like different dance lessons and different things like that, which is also a marketing strategy because it gets people out to the dancing part, but they come in, they have to pick up their tickets, or they come in and might want to buy a dress to wear to the swing dance. So we do different things like that. Like I said, the newsletters and social media platforms.
Yeah. Does one work better than the other? Facebook, Instagram, or do they work?
No, definitely Instagram. Yeah, definitely Instagram. Yeah, it does. And I had to get used to that because these young kids, that's what if you're older when you are on Facebook and you talk about Facebook first. Because these kids, they love Instagram. Yes. And now this whole TikTok craze is another, like you can't keep up with it all. But Instagram is where I have the most followers on Instagram. I get the most interaction on Instagram. Like when you look at the reports and go on there, like that one definitely gets more traction.
Yeah.
When I do a video, it does get more responses than, just me sending a picture of clothes.
Exactly. Yeah. A quick question, just back to the business plan. I know you said you don't use it much now. Did you find it difficult to start?
The business plan is not easy. So I can tell you, when I decided I was going to open this business and started doing research of taking different classes and free resources, I found Score. And you literally can go onto Score and download a template for a business plan. And it is pretty easy, and it kind of does walk you through it, but it's a lot of work, a lot of research. It's not easy to do, and it's always constantly changing. Like that business plan that I started off with is pretty much null and void for me right now. I need to start a whole entire business plan because I'm in a totally different spot than when I first started. Some goals from that first business plan I haven't reached yet, but I still have, what am I, 3 years? I still have 2 more years to reach some of those goals if I follow the business plan.
Right.
But you're going to always constantly have to rework that and change that based off of what you've achieved, where you are, and what you may not have achieved.
Your grant that you received didn't ask for one, but did the other grants ask for a business plan? Yeah.
Yes. So the state offers an EDGE grant, and that one. So I have applied for that one a couple of times, and having the business plan was very, very helpful in getting that grant completed.
There you go.
I would recommend, even if you don't think you're going to go the financing route, which I did not do to open my business, it is good to have that business plan, because not only when you decide to do that, you have it, but it helps you understand your business, know your business. You're doing research when you build that business plan, because you're looking at your competitors.
Right.
It put me out there to talk to other people that's in my industry, and not just local people, but I literally reached out to this girl in Kansas. She has this vintage shop. She's been around for a while. And she said she had on her website, even if you just want to ask a question. And I was like, okay, I'm going to take you up on that. I sent her an email, and she was very, very helpful and honest when I asked her questions about, helping me with getting, strengths and weaknesses for putting in my business plan.
Right.
So it really, really helps you understand your industry. As far as, the viability of that industry, where the industry is going, and then who your competitors are, not just locally, but also nationwide.
Absolutely. And I've recommended to other women that are starting out, even if it's one sentence, to answer each of the questions to get you started. And it doesn't have to be completed right away. It's something that can evolve. And like you said, if you're not applying for a loan, you don't have to worry about it much, but you still want something in place, I think, to help you along.
You do.
Yeah, absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Well, who or what motivates you?
Okay. So I would definitely say my family and my customers. So I can tell you, opening this store here, you would think that it's just so amazing to me how people come in and respond to the fact that we have a vintage store like mine in Dover, Delaware. Like people, you're not from around here, are you? I get that all the time. No, born and raised Dover, Delaware. Well, this is like something you'd see in New York or all the time. Like that's a constant comment that comes out of people's mouth when they walk in here. So it's fun and it's rewarding to be able to, walk customers through my store, give them a little bit of history about like an item or, about even some of the decorations I have in the store, which are local to the area.
Wow.
And then, they're just see their happiness. They're amazed. I have a lot of people tell me that, this is like a treat for them to come in, and that when they leave, they feel happy and, they're just happy. So definitely my customers. And then as far as my family, they are 100% have always supported me with the business. Like I said, my sisters model for me for free. If I need them to come in and cover the store for me and they can do it, they cover the store for me.
That's
so,
nice.
And even with my husband and his children, like his daughter, like on Friday, we had Grandparents' Day. So she came in and she covered the store.
Aww. That's nice. Yeah, that's really nice because having family backup is very important. And yeah, it is. And then I know your customers are happy because they let you take pictures of them and you post them, and not only they look happy, but they look beautiful too in the clothing. So that's a big thing. How do you manage your business and family time?
It's tough. It is. I will tell you that. Definitely. I try to make sure I take that time for my family, for family time and family things. So my husband and I do ballroom and Latin dancing. That definitely has went to the wayside since opening the business. We do not get to do it as much, but like when we can take that opportunity to do it, we definitely go out, we find the time, and we do try to do it. Family vacations, we used to do at least 2 a year. I can't do that anymore, but I at least try to go on one with the family. So, yeah, it's tough, but I do make time for family because you need to have that downtime for yourself, because it's one, it helps you take care of yourself.
Right.
And it also gives you an outlet other than just being this business being my 100% focus.
Right.
I mean, it is that, but I still need time for myself and my family.
Absolutely. And it's a long day for you too. I mean, you might be, 9 to 5, but then there's everything else that you have to, finish or accomplish after hours, before hours. Are you open 7 days a week?
No, I used to be open 7 days a week. So right now I am Monday through Friday, 11 to 6, and Saturdays 10 to 5. With the holiday coming up, starting after Black Friday, I'll extend my hours. I'm just not sure what I'm going to do this year. I think I did until 7 last year,
okay.
And I'll probably do every other Sunday, because I do have the Antique Mall in Newark that I have a booth there.
Right.
I do work one Sunday a month there.
What has been one of the most valuable lessons you have learned from starting your own business?
That you cannot compare your success. Well, hopefully I'm saying this right. You cannot compare what you're doing to what somebody else is doing and thinking that they're doing it better than you. You have totally different stories. You have totally different paths. You have different customers. You have kind of different everything. I think you can look at that and see what they're doing that might be able to help you do something better or a little bit different, but you can't be like, well, this store is doing this. And I catch myself doing that sometimes and comparing myself to people that how am I even comparing myself to that person? She's been in business for like a million years. Like most of her stuff she sells to celebrities. Like, how am I comparing myself to her? But you really, you can't get yourself down doing that. And you can fall into that trap doing that.
Absolutely. And so that leads into the next question. What advice would you give to the next woman entrepreneur just starting their own business?
Okay. I would say, so believe in yourself. Do not be afraid to go after what you want. It is never, ever going to be the right time for something. Like people always say that, well, I'm waiting for this, waiting for that. You could be waiting till the hens come in. Like imagine if I had waited to open my business and then COVID hit. And then what? I would have waited another year and another year. Believe in yourself. You have the right product. You did the right research. You did all the hard work to get you to where you need to be. Go for it. Go for it. If you fail, pick yourself back up and, start all over again. But definitely that, it's a very scary journey, but it's more rewarding than it's more rewarding than anything, than being scared. Reach out to people in your industry. Don't be afraid to talk to people. Ask questions. I will tell you things that I've learned doing that is that some people are not willing to give you any kind of information. Some people will tell you they charge you to do it. I am an open book. People walk in here all the time and I'm like, oh, well, you need to do this and take this and do that. Somebody helped me and I like to pay that forward. You can't get paid to do everything.
No.
Yeah, I guess you can if you want that person.
Right.
But you have to be willing to help other people. So reach out to people in your industry. There are a lot of people out there who are willing to help you to that next step and next level. Network. And when I mean network, I don't mean to network to constantly go to all these different events and meet all these different people. Network and find like those key people that are important to you that you can go to them and they're going to give you good sound advice. You want to network to find those people and use all the free resources that are out there. So like I mentioned, SCORE, there's SBA, there's the SBDC, there is the Women's Center. Like I used all of those. I found out about programs like the Launcher program. That was like a key program that helped me after I took that program, that's when I opened my business. Wow. I felt 100% comfortable opening my business after taking the Launcher program. I found that. I don't remember how or where I found that program from, but I took it and it was beneficial. So use the resources that are out there. And don't lose yourself in your business. Like you still need to make time for yourself. You need to still do things that you love and then be involved in the community and give back.
I love it. That's a great list. And when I edit this podcast, I'm going to write those down because I think definitely awesome. Definitely. Those are great. Those are great resources and great advice for the next entrepreneur. And you had mentioned, having a mentor or somebody to call. So did you have a mentor besides family or your husband?
So yes. So I've met people through like some of the programs that I've been through that are small businesses like me, but definitely a lot more organized because that's definitely not my strong point. So I have those people that I can reach out to and ask questions and get help. And then, like I said, going through some of these different programs where like they offered one-on-one coaching, like I'm still able to reach out to those group of people anytime I need help. Anytime I feel like a failure, I'm able to go to them and, get a pick me up and then also get some better guidance. So right now I feel like I'm at a standpoint in my business. Like I'm doing the activities, I'm working with other small businesses so we can create different things for people to come downtown. But I still feel like I'm at a standpoint. So I'm working with Caroline from SBDC to help me kind of get over that hump.
Okay.
With just like the marketing aspect of it, the foot traffic aspect of it, and then also another person for the financial aspect of it. Great. So just always be willing to ask and help people. And ask for help and have those people that you can rely on and depend on to be able to do that.
Absolutely. And one of my goals with this podcast is to create that network of women who could, we can reach out to each other. And I would love to add your name to that list to be part of that group.
Definitely. Yeah,
Thank you. Thank you. Tina, I want to thank you so much. I appreciate you being here with me tonight. I have learned so much. I'm excited for you. I'm looking forward to all the downtown events and happenings that are going to be happening at your store. So again, thank you. Any last words you would like to say to the listeners?
Well, can I tell you about a couple of events that are coming up?
That would be perfect.
Okay, so right now I have a small mini Halloween pop-up shop in my store. So that's going on for Halloween. So if you need some costumes, I have true vintage product that you can wear again, or just some costumes. And then on October 29th from 6 to 11, we are having a bachata dance lesson with a 3-time world champion, Sharon, with La Hacienda. So it's a co-partnership with La Hacienda. It's a Halloween costume party, a DJ, a dance lesson, and then dancing afterwards. And then on November 6th, I have a photographer and makeup stylist and hairstylist coming from LA, and they are doing glamorous pinup photo shoots. Yes. So that one should be really, really fun. If you're interested in that, you can go to my website and it's posted on there, or my website, or on social media to get the information for that, to book a session.
That is so much fun. Oh my gosh, Tina, Thank you so much. So thank you. I'm so happy that we got to do this tonight. I wish you all the best and much success. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Have a good one, Deborah.
You too. Thank you for listening to Women Entrepreneur Spotlight. I hope you've enjoyed this episode. For updates on my next interview, follow me on Facebook at Woman Entrepreneur Spotlight. Until then, keep being awesome.